begin today by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to people of diverse cultures, faiths, colors, and genders, and pledge to work for equity, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. A very good morning to all. I, Dr. Manmeet Kaur, welcome you to the inaugural ceremony of the 6th edition of the world's first 7-day staggered collocation conference, ICAN6, is organized by DME Media School in collaboration with the School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. ICAN6 is sponsored by the Indian Council of Social Science Research, ICSSR. We are honored to have amongst us the stalwarts from the media academics and research. We are honored to have amongst us Professor K.G. Suresh, Vice Chancellor Makhanlal Chaturvedi University, as chief guest of the inaugural ceremony. A huge round of applause, please. Distinguished guest, Professor Ashok Ograji. Chair of the inaugural session, Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad. Guest of honor, Dr. Vikrant Kishore. Special guest, Professor Maithili Ganju. We also have Dr. Kiran Bala from Manav Rachna Institute. I welcome you to the inaugural ceremony of the 6th edition of the world's first 7-day staggered collocation conference. I also welcome DME management and leadership, Mr. Aman Sahani, Vice Chairman, Justice Bhavar Singh, Director General, Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director, Professor Rashmi Khurana Nagpal, Additional Director and Dean Law School, Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean DME Media School, and Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DME Media School. Light is the universal symbol of truth, knowledge, and understanding. It is the symbol of brightness and prosperity. To make the morning a blessed one, let's invoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessings of Ma Saraswati, I request all the dignitaries to please kindly come up on the stage for the lamp lighting ceremony. Ma Saraswati Sharade, Ma Saraswati Sharade. I would like to take a moment to share that today's inaugural function is live on Facebook official page of Delhi Metropolitan Education. The 6th edition of ICAN6 is organized in a staggered format which will take place at 4 different venues across India and abroad. Phase 1 will be held in Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida from 19th to 21st June and Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad on 22nd June. Phase 2 will be held in Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University for Journalism and Mass Communication, Bhopal on 21st July and Daffodil International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh on 5th and 6th August 2023 respectively. I would like to take a moment and introduce organizers of ICAN6. Delhi Metropolitan Education DME is an A-grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, New Delhi, and approved by Bar Council of India. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes that offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and students through academic and co-curricular activities. Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia is a leading university enabling globally connected education for the jobs of the future and research. Deakin University, Australia is ranked among the top 1% of universities worldwide. Deakin's academic staff provide world-class teaching across 4 faculties and 14 schools. We thank Deakin University for their support for this collaborative mega event. ICAN6 has come up with the theme Identity, Culture and Agenda-Driven Newscast with the hashtag Cultural Identity for Diversity. Before proceeding further, I would like to request DME team to officially welcome guests with a token of gratitude for their gracious presence. Requesting Mr. Aman Sahani, Vice Chairman DME, to kindly felicitate Professor K.G. Suresh, Vice Chancellor from Makhanlal Chaturvedi, National University of Journalism and Communication, Bhopal. Requesting Justice Bhavar Singh Sir, Director General DME, to kindly felicitate Professor Ashok Ogra Sir. Now I request Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director DME, to kindly felicitate Dr. Vikrant Kishore. Aman Sir, I request you again to please felicitate Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad. I request Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena to kindly felicitate Professor Maithili Ganju. Thank you everyone, and thank you Dr. Manasvi for the smooth conduct of felicitation ceremony. ICAN6 has the support of more than 21 partners. The conference is sponsored by Indian Council of Social Science Research. Conference partners are ICAN6 Gen Section, Global Media Education Council. Knowledge partners are Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University for Journalism and Communication and Mass Communication, Bhopal, Adamas University, Kolkata, Institute of Applied Medicines and Research, Ghaziabad, and Keshav Suri Foundation. We have international partners, Daffodil International University, Institute for International Journalism, Ohio University, USA, and Beacon House National University, Pakistan. Our media partners are The Policy Times, Jai Hind Times, Quick News, and News 44. ICAN6 is powered by Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network from Australia, Australia-India Film Practitioners and Researchers Network, the Student Council of DME Media School Spark, Research and Innovation in Media Research Cell of DME, and Richmond Fellowship Society, Delhi branch. Before I invite Dr. Susmita Bala, Head Media School and Chief Associate Convener of ICAN6 to deliver her welcome address, I would like to take a minute to introduce her. Professor Bala is an accomplished teacher and trainer equipped with rich experience in media industry and academics for more than 3 decades. She is a specialist in radio journalism and designs and graphics. She has been a part of the prestigious IAMCR conferences. She has presented more than 40 papers in national and international conferences and seminars. I request Susmita ma'am, Head DME Media School and Chief Associate Convener ICAN6 to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. I begin today by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to people who diverse cultures, faiths, colors, and genders and pledge to work for equality, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. I, Professor Susmita Bala, Head of DME Media School and Chief Associate Convener of ICAN6, welcome you all on behalf of Delhi Metropolitan Education, DME, and DME Media School. It is a great pride that DME Media School is successfully organizing the 6th edition of its truly international media conference, ICAN. And the theme for this year is Identity, Culture, Agenda-Driven Newscast. This conference is being organized by DME in collaboration with Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. ICAN was launched in 2018 as the 3-day international conference and grew as a 10-day conference in 2020. In fact, we planned it as 4-day conference in March 2020, but right before it, national lockdown happened in the wake of COVID-19. So we converted it to a digital conference for 10 days with all the sessions live in June 2020. This led us to take the credit of hosting the world's first 10 days digital live international conference. In 2021, we planned ICAN4 in hybrid mode and scheduled it in May, but the second wave impacted us badly, so we decided to shift the conference to July under the impact of COVID-19. We were not able to conduct any activity in physical space, so it also turned out to be a 10-day digital live conference in a row. After 2 editions in the physical space and 2 editions in the online or digital space, we organized the 5th edition of ICAN in hybrid mode. We presented this edition as the world's first 7-day hybrid international conference, July 2022. We introducing ICAN6 as the world's first staggered co-location conference, staggered for 3 months, June, July and August, and co-location since it is being held 4 locations in 2 countries, India and Bangladesh. This turns out to be the biggest and the largest media conference in the globe. Many distinguished personalities have supported ICAN to reach this far. I extend my gratitude to Professor K.G. Suresh, Vice Chancellor Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of and Communication, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad, Professor Journalism and Media Management, School of Communication, University of Miami, United States. Mr. Ashok Ogra, Advisor, Mass Communication, APJ Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. Dr. Vikrant Kishore, Associate Professor, School of International Communication, University of Nottingham, China campus. Dr. Maithili Ganju, Professor and Dean, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, FEH, Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, Haryana, India. Dr. Jolly Josh, Assistant Director, Research, Associate Professor, Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Noida, India, for agreeing to grace this inaugural function. I am thankful to the management of Delhi Metropolitan Education for their kind support, Mr. Aman Sahni, Vice Chairman, and Justice Bhamvar Singh, DG, always motivate for academic and research activities. Professor Ravikant Swami, Director, Professor Rashmi Khurana Nagpal, and Professor Ambarish Saxena also extend a helping hand always. This conference would not have been possible without the cooperation of esteemed resource persons and my faculty members and students. I welcome all delegates, media educators, media professionals, and distinguished scholars in this ICAN conference. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your welcome address. To continue with the felicitation ceremony, I request Professor Dr. Susmita Bala to kindly felicitate Dr. Kiran Bala, Head, Department of Journalism from Manav Rachna University. Another special guest of the morning, Dr. Jolly Joss, has just joined us in the inaugural ceremony of ICAN6. She is an Associate Professor and Assistant Director Research in Amity School of Communication. I request Professor Dr. Bala to kindly felicitate Jolly ma'am. Ma'am, please. Thank you, ma'am. I again extend my warm welcome to all the dignitaries and our special guest of this morning. Since 2018, DME Media School has been organizing the international conference ICAN, and the themes for the previous editions were India and Changing Aspect of News in ICAN 1, Indian Cinema and Alternate Networks in ICAN 2, Issues of Community Agenda and News in ICAN 3, Information Communication and Artificial Networks in ICAN 4, Inclusivity, Convergence and Alternative Negotiations in ICAN 5, and this year, Identity, Culture and Agenda-Driven Newscast in ICAN 6. This unique conference is conceptualized by Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena, Professor and Dean of DME Media School. He is the convener of ICAN 6. Dr. Saxena, an internationally acclaimed media professional, researcher, author, anchor, political analyst, and film enthusiast. I request Sir to kindly shed light on the journey of ICAN.
I begin today by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to the people of diverse cultures, faiths, colors, and genders, and pledge to work for equity, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. Welcome everybody to the 6th edition of ICAN. A lot has been said about the conference which has entered the 6th year. We initially started at a very modest level as a 3 days conference, and initially it was at a national level venture, but then the way the kind of support is started pouring in from different sources. So from the very first edition, we converted it into a international conference. And since then, lot has been changed. We surpassed these 2 years of Corona, 2020 and 2021. And during that time, we had to change it to a 10-day digital live conference. And both the years, 2020 it happened, 21 again the second wave happened, and we again had to shift it to the completely digital mode. Last year we converted it to a mix of the two, in a blended mode, in a hybrid mode, but again it was more tilted towards online sessions than the sessions in the physical space. This year we deliberately decided that we will put more focus on sessions which are happening in the physical space or in the on-site mode, whether it's the master classes or the workshops, or it is the presentation of papers in the technical sessions. So that is how we are here with this conference. Every time we try to add some new aspect to this conference. So this year we decided to have it in a staggered fashion, wherein the institutions, the organizations which have been with us since long, we also go to those organizations and host and conduct the sessions there. So this year, Manav Rachna International Institute for Research and Studies, they have come forward, and one-day session we are happening on their campus on 22nd. And since Professor K.G. Suresh has been with us all through, right from the beginning, initially as DG of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, and then the Vice Chancellor of Makhanlal Chaturvedi University. So he is kind enough to allow us to conduct one-day session in Bhopal in the campus of Makhanlal University, and then the final leg of the conference will happen in Daffodil International University, Dhaka. So Daffodil University has also been for the last 2 years our partner, and this time they showed willingness to conduct the sessions there only. So that is how this whole conference has been conceived. In terms of papers and all, obviously we know that what are the shortcomings that we have, and every time we try to address those issues. In terms of number of papers, we have been having good number of papers mostly, and even during this COVID period in 2020, the number of papers exceeded 200, which is really a large number for a media conference. But there have been ups and downs, but certainly this one area wherein we still need to work is the quality of papers. But one good thing that we have been trying to do, that we have been motivating the student to write. Since media research is again part of the curriculum. And this time also, number of students have written their abstract, they are writing their papers, and they are also making the presentation. So it's not that we compel somebody to write, but they are also willing to make their presentation, which is very, very necessary for a student who is into media education. Another important thing is the collaborations. We all know that every time the number of partners is around 20. This time it has further exceeded 20 because today's world is that of collaborations. Unless we join hands with each other, nothing substantial will come out. So on that front, we have been quite successful, and we have some very committed and dedicated partners, not only within India, but outside the boundaries. And obviously, it's worth mentioning the collaboration that has happened with Deakin University, Australia, from the second edition only. This has happened thanks to Dr. Vikrant Kishore, who has also joined this conference in the physical space because after 2019 it was not possible for him also to come to India, and at the moment he is in Nottingham University China campus, and from Nottingham University China campus also, in one way or the other, as far as the academic sessions are concerned, we are doing a lot of things jointly, and in future also there is a possibility with Dr. Vikrant Kishore around that we can further expand our collaboration with Nottingham University. Another important thing on which I would like to highlight is the outcome of the conference. So we have been successful in taking out publications every year. Until date, out of the 5 ICAN conferences, we have published 24 books with ISBN, and not only this, we also publish the proceedings. The abstract of the conference we publish in the form of proceedings. Initially for 2 years, these proceedings were without ISBN, but thereafter we have been publishing the proceedings with ISBN, but these are the online publications. We are not getting these printed because the papers are already in the printed form. So that is how, because ultimately whenever the conference is happening, we don't want that it's finished just with the sessions taking place, but there has to be a storehouse of knowledge, and that is how these publications are of great importance. Another important thing also which I would like to mention, that every time, whatever number of sessions are happening, we try to cover everything on camera, and all sessions are recorded. When the sessions are happening, we go Facebook Live so that a larger audience is available for these sessions. And after the sessions happen, we edit the recorded footage, and then we convert into proper edited videos, which are then put on our YouTube. And we have our YouTube channel, DME TV. So there we post all the videos, and on an average, every year we post 30 to 40 videos on DME TV. So over the years, that has again turned out to be a great storage of whatever academic and research based activities we have been doing all these years. In terms of the number of participation of the country, it's hovering around 12 to 15 every time. But I think the kind of exercise that we do, it's a purely an academic thing, so this number is good enough. The more important is the people who join us in the conference. It is obviously, it can also be looked from the perspective that the International Film Festival that we organize every year in December, SIFI, there we have been exceeding every year the participation of more than 100 countries. Last year also it was around 115 countries and all, because then there the films are being received from all parts of the globe. So this is a nutshell about the endeavor that we have been into, and we have been succeeded to some extent. Obviously there's a long way to go for the reason that there are very good people with us. And today also, very senior people are with us in this conference, in this auditorium. Professor Ashok Gogra is kind enough to have the keynote address. This is a big thing, always, because we try to start the conference with a serious note. And every time we look forward some senior person who is who has that credentials, who can speak as a keynote speaker. So Professor Ogra has obliged us this time. And then we also have today Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad, who is a big supporter. He has come all the way from the United States to attend this conference and to be here with us in this inaugural session. I'm also obliged to Dr. Jolly Jose, who is Assistant Director in MIT University, who is also with us in this session. So I stop here, and we are eagerly waiting to listen to the eminent people present in this session. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm happy to share that Journalism at DME is the official newsletter of DME Media School. This fortnightly publication covers all the major activities happening in and outside DME campus. It is a student-centric newsletter carried out entirely by them under the supervision of the faculty members. DME TV is our official YouTube channel where you can find the playlist of all the sessions, conferences, film festivals, lecture series, and other academic curricular activities.
Yes, please. So that's about the acronym ICAN, which has traveled through years, but in a very meaningful manner. Another thing which is significant about ICAN is the institutionalization of this conference. Like, companies come, organizations come, brands come, and soon they diminish. But then ICAN is something which is growing organically year on year. And sir, is it like Golmaal 29? So yes, to draw an analogy from Bollywood, because we have series, and now I believe the next series of Dhoom is also coming. So ICAN has become like that people keep on waiting that, okay, what is going to happen in the next series of ICAN? So that is what we mean by institutionalization of a brand. Yes, brands or institutions are not about brick and mortar, but they are about the meaning which they carry. Well, the media school at DME has grown in a very beautiful manner. Out of 25 staff members, 11 are doctorates. So that again gives us a great strength. Yes, I believe that with 11 doctorates in a single school, it's academically very strong. It's a very strong school. Well, the word hybrid, again, like words in various languages, has got multiple meanings. But then hybrid generally meant online, offline. But this ICAN is hybrid in a different sense. We were calling it segregated. I am calling it hybrid. It is hybrid in the sense that it is traveling from place to place. From Noida, it will travel to Bhopal, from where Sir has come. Then it will go right to the Bay of Bengal. It will go to Dhaka. So that's a very beautiful way in which we are creating a hybridization. That again is a way in which ICAN, as ever, is always experimenting. I'm sure this conference is going to be a significant platform for horizontal learning this year and in all years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I really like your anecdotes related to Bollywood and films. Thank you so much for your words, sir. 15 countries has participated in ICAN6. This is the uniqueness of ICAN6, where different countries join hands together to achieve the successful academic deliberations. We have participation from Australia, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Canada, China, India, Morocco, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, UAE, UK, USA, and Greece. We are proud to state that with every passing year, we are crossing milestones. In our journey, many people have played special role by encouraging and supporting us. One such member is present here today. Guest of honor, Dr. Vikrant Kishore, Organizing Secretary, ICAN6. Dr. Kishore is an associate professor in the School of International Communications in the University of Nottingham, China. He is an honorary fellow at the School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University. He has authored and edited books on Indian cinema, celebrity culture, and intangible cultural heritage. He is Director, Postgraduate Research, School of International Communications, Director, Short Films Research Priority Area, Institute of Asia and Pacific Studies, University of Nottingham. I request Sir to kindly share his words.
Hello all. Warm welcome to DME, and I would first like to acknowledge in our Australian tradition to all the Aboriginal ancestors and Aboriginal leaders and community members of Australia, where I come from. And of course, these days I'm working in China, so I'm representing the University of Nottingham's Ningbo campus. And thanks to Professor Amrish Saxena for the warm introduction at the beginning, and I would like to acknowledge also the support of the DME management who have been continuously doing such a wonderful job of getting these kind of events, a conference and a film festival, which I'm very proud to be associated with since 2018. And each year, you know, of course, during COVID, I couldn't be here, but I always would like to be a part of something like this, where we are not only making an effort to educate the students and give them a platform, and also bringing them close to the practitioners, both academic and industry practitioners. And that's what any conference should do. And one of the things I would want is that you know, we should utilize this opportunity to meet each other, network, and get each other's support to do something more in the future editions, or even meanwhile after the conference ends, because there's so much of opportunities and so much of possibilities of doing things internationally, from either be it academic publications or even practice-based research, which is quite big these days. In fact, my area of work is now mostly focusing on practice-based research, which is like making films or doing a multimedia exhibition. In fact, in end of July, I'm doing a multimedia exhibition in France, and it's on a dance form called Chow, where I'm exploring the aspect of mask. So anything which you think involves creativity, so media can actually help you do that, and to discuss and deliberate on things like that is very important. So while on one hand I'm looking at the antiquity part of things like culture, on the other hand I'll be presenting a roundtable and moderating on the integration of intelligence, artificial intelligence with media and academia, as to how we can, use in a better way artificial intelligence for our work and use it as a productivity tool, and not think that it is going to be something which will overtake us or it will help us only in plagiarizing stuff. We have to think beyond that. And that's what a conference like this gives you an opportunity to think about what is happening currently and what will happen in future. So welcome to you all once again, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. ICAN6 will witness 21 sessions in this phase that includes 6 on-site technical sessions, 5 online technical sessions, 3 master classes, 1 plenary session, 2 panel discussions, and 3 special sessions. Total abstracts, we have received 137 in phase 1, and we are still counting for Bhopal and Dhaka. Like I said, we are breaking our own records with every passing year. Now, I would like to invite Director General Sir Justice Bhavar Singh Ji, a visionary, administrator, writer, educator, speaker with high intellect. He has served judicial service as judicial magistrate and additional district and sessions judge in UP, higher judicial service cadre. He was appointed as Registrar of Allahabad High Court and later on as the Registrar General of the Supreme Court of India. He was elevated as Judge of Allahabad High Court. Sir is our torchbearer. I request, sir, please share your words of wisdom and anecdote with us today.
The chief guest of the event today, Professor K.G. Suresh, Mr. Aman Sahani, the Vice Chairman of the Sunshine Educational Society, Professor Jyotika Ramaprasad, Professor Ashok Ogra, Dr. Vikrant Kashore, the Director Ravikant, the Dean of Media, Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Head Sushmita Bala, other faculty members, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to be associated with this festival of ICAN6. I am happy to learn that some 137 abstracts have already been received and the process is still on. Friends, culture is the shared characteristics of a group of people which encompasses place of birth, religion, language, cuisine, social behavior, art, literature and music. Some cultures are widespread and some are not, but the basic values which are attached to the culture doesn't depend upon the size of any culture. The real measurement is the values which can be attached to any cultural society. Friends, in Rajasthan, there have been hundreds of kings, but nobody is remembered today. If someone is remembered, it is Maharana Pratap Singh. In 2006, Malta, which is a small country of hardly 60 lakhs of people and is centrally located in Mediterranean Sea, issued a coin, silver coin of 1 kg, the cost of which in the local currency was 5,000 liras, equivalent to Indian currency of 10 lakhs rupees. This 1 kg silver coin had the photograph of Maharana Pratap from Rajasthan. Maharana Pratap is widely known for warriorship. That country has recognized the culture of India through the warriors, and we can say we should rather be proud of our culture of warriors. It is how the cultural identity is made. The Maltese government was given all compliments and thanks by the Indian government to have recognized our culture. As a matter of fact, more than 200 centuries before, thousands of Indians migrated to Malta and they carried this culture of ours to that country. Not only in Malta but in many countries the world over, our culture has been spread. So it will be really a great occasion at ICAN6 that we would be discussing different religions, different cultures, different education, different languages, and of course not least the different cuisines. I wish that ICAN6 goes a great success. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you for your best wishes, sir. We are also pleased by the graceful presence of Mr. Aman Sahani, Vice Chairman, Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida, who has been a pillar of strength and support to the institution. A dynamic, visionary, and a very young leader, Sir is a graduate from London School of Economics. His keen interest in academics has led to the starting of our two higher educational institutions, DME and DTC. Adding to his excellence, he has been associated as a dynamic leader and expert with Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension, and Mayur School, Noida. I request Sir to please share a few words with us.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very grateful to the large number of very special guests we have with us today. I'm very proud of the media school that they've been able to have gathered so many people over here of such high repute. My thanks to all of them for being here today. And if I also look back to the start of the ICAN conferences, after the first one, I was told that ICAN, these letters will repeat every year. And I didn't think it would have the legs. I thought 1 or 2 years maybe, but after that, how many such names can you come up with? But every year I'm surprised, and identity and culture are obviously two aspects, two words that are extremely important, two concepts that go far beyond even general academic talk or discussion and debate, and influence people in a wider manner. So I'm glad that we're having this discussion, we're having this conference on this topic. And I've been looking at that board. Normally there's an acrylic board with the name of the conference. I'm glad, in fact, that our students try to reuse and recycle and do something different. But then the 6 on that has been falling continuously, and it seems quite intent on turning 180 degrees and becoming 9, which seems to be a sign of things to come. Perhaps there will be an ICAN 9. So I'm looking forward to this one, and 7 and 8 and 9 and so forth. My best wishes to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Definitely, this is the uniqueness of ICAN, that we always have come up with new name and new theme with all the acronyms in the letters. And definitely, we will use this 6 for ICAN 9. Just add humor to this conversation. Yesterday evening, my daughter was asking me, then, Mama, when will be the ICAN 10? मैंने कहा अभी रुक जाओ, अभी उसके लिए time है. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your words. The journey of 5 editions of ICAN has been compiled by the production team of DME Media School, that has brought to us by the mesmerized moments from the previous edition. I think it's quite nostalgic for me, because I am associated with ICAN since the first edition of ICAN in March 2018. So definitely a nostalgic feeling for me. So it is the time to listen from our chief guest of the morning, Professor Dr. K.G. Suresh sir. KG sir has been a strong pillar for all of us and always lent his support in our endeavors. Sir is the Vice Chancellor of Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Mass Communication, Bhopal, where we will be taking ICAN6 in the second phase. Professor Suresh is a senior journalist, columnist, educationist, socio-political commentator, and communication strategist. He has served as Director General, Indian Institute of Mass Communication, India's premier media training institution, was the founder Dean School of Modern Media, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun. He is a recipient of the prestigious Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi Award for Outstanding Contribution to Journalism by the Kendriya Hindi Sansthan, Ministry of Education, Government of India. He has a rich and a diverse experience which cannot be summarized in 2 or 3 minutes by just reading his profile. I am sure we all are looking forward to listen from KG sir in the inaugural ceremony of ICAN6.
Respected Justice Bhamar Singh Saab, Director General, DME, Mr. Aman Sani, Vice Chairman, DME, my friend and I would say the Sutradhar of this entire series, Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dr. Sushmita Bala, and Professor Ravikant Swamiji, the Director, DME. We also have today very distinguished dignitaries from across the world, including Professor Ashok Ogra, Dr. Vikrant Kishore, Professor Jyotika Ramprasad, Professor Mathili Ganju, Professor Kiran Bala, and our friend from Amity, Dr. Jose, and faculty members, esteemed faculty members, dear friends, very good afternoon to you. Greetings from Asia's first and India's largest media university, the Makhanlal Chaturvedi Rashtriya Patrakarita Evam Sanchar Vishwavidyalaya, Bhopal. Well, I am here in different capacities today, not just as the chief guest of the afternoon, but also as a partner organization. The Makhanlal Chaturvedi University is also the president of the Global Media Education Council, GMEC, which is also a partner organization. And of course, I've been a research council member of the Indian Council of Social Science Research. So this, this conference is too important for us. And most importantly, DME is an extension of my family. I've been part of this journey for the last so many years. Even as Director General of the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, I used to come here regularly for the festivals. And so an invitation from DME is something that, I think that the most important thing which I love is my cup of tea. And today when she called me, I was having my cup of tea. For DME, I'm ready to leave that. Okay, friends. I want to congratulate the entire team DME, and particularly my friend Dr. Amrish Saxena and his team for so steadfastly and consistently, maintaining the tempo of this conference. Because I've been part of it since the beginning. And the play of words that they do every year with ICAN is something which is very unique. Apart from it being the longest online conference anywhere in the world, I think that the very fact that this time you are going not just national but also international. And I'm looking forward to welcoming all of you in the beautiful lake city of Bhopal, as part of the ICAN's extended second session, which is going to be held there, the second series out of Delhi-NCR. And then we look forward to, hosting it and rather being part of the conference at Dhaka, again with our very dynamic Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary being there. Now, this very important session is on identity, culture, agenda-driven newscast. Let me just share some thoughts on this. And I must compliment you for identifying this as the theme of the conference this year. Because we are living in an increasingly polarized world. And in this increasingly polarized world, this conference is happening in the backdrop of 2 or 3 major events that has happened in the recent past. One is what we are witnessing even today in Manipur. Again, about identity, about culture. 2, the massacre of innocent children in France, in Africa. Again, identity, culture, issues. It is in this backdrop that it is very important. In fact, I was telling some media persons who had come before the start of this conference that it is very important that we discuss these issues. Most of the media conferences that's happening today is centered around artificial intelligence, virtual reality, fake news. But who is going to talk about these issues which are so important? And particularly you students are really fortunate that such important topics are being discussed, which is so critical for the future of media, which is so critical for the future of our society and our democracy. It's not that things have not been happening all these years. Worse massacres have taken place. Worse communal riots have taken place. In this very city where I was born and brought up, I've seen the worst riots happening. So it's not something new. What is new? What is new is the technology that's taking this division, polarization right up to your drawing rooms, right up to, wherever you are traveling, your mobile phone, your smartphone is today taking it to people who do not have either the maturity or the skills or the education or the understanding to know the implications of what is being telecast. You have used the word agenda-driven newscast. So today, this country which has had a legacy of Takshashila, Nalanda, Vikramashila, today the biggest university in this country is the WhatsApp University. And it is through this WhatsApp University that all these things are being disseminated. The kind of vicious stuff that is being, dished out is really shocking. And imagine it is being presented to majority of the people who do not have the understanding, who do not have the maturity to understand its implications. And that is leading to a lot of divisions, polarizations. And that for me is the biggest challenge. Agenda. Now, what is supposed to be an agenda? It's like saying that, can you have an ideology-free media? What has to be the agenda? To say that agenda is something wrong, I don't agree. But what has to be the agenda? Isn't it fair trial? Isn't it justice? Isn't it, truth that has to be the agenda? Facts that have to be the agenda? So you need an agenda. But then what is the agenda that's being pursued across the world today? That is the big question that we need to ponder about. Aren't identities important? Yes, they are. It gives you strength. Your identity gives you strength. Your identity gives you a sense of belonging. We have seen, we are going to Dhaka. This conference is going to Dhaka. The entire language movement, even till today, 21 February, 21st February is celebrated as the International Mother Languages Day. Language isn't that important. How the Bangla language movement was suppressed in the then East Pakistan is a testimony to the fact that linguistic identity is important. Cultural identity is important. So identities are important. Culture, again, is very important. But then, it is what is not important or what is not desirable is the trend of cultural supremacy. And that's why we have so far been talking about tolerance. I personally believe that tolerance is a very negative word. When I say I am tolerating you, I don't think it's a positive word. I'm tolerating you. And we talk about religious tolerance. I think we should be talking not about tolerance. Imagine its translation in Hindustani. मैं तुम्हें बर्दाश्त कर रहा हूँ. Tolerance is बर्दाश्त करना. Whereas the actual word in a pluralistic society should be acceptance. I accept you. It cannot be that my way or the highway. That's my way is the only way. Only my way will lead to salvation. Only my way will lead to God. Only my way leads to truth. No, it has to be acceptance. And not just acceptance. In fact, it has to be a celebration of that difference, a celebration of that diversity. That's what our media should be looking at. I remember I was a hardcore field reporter. And whenever we had any tip-off about a sectarian or a communal violence taking place anywhere in the country, anywhere in the city, the first thing we would do is to call up the respective religious leaders and ask them to issue an appeal for harmony, for peace. But today, the first thing that they do is they name the community and they incite. And then there is a spiral reaction. There is a chain reaction. And that's what you are seeing today in Manipur. That's very unfortunate. And this, as I said, has been, in a way, multiplied by the influence, the impact of technology. Where today an ordinary citizen can reach out to lakhs of people with just the, touch of his finger. This is where we need to ponder over about issues, how media should be dealing with issues of identity, of culture. For me, it is equally important when we talk about media diversity. Media diversity is not just about the diverse nature of media in terms of technology. For me, media diversity is not also about the representation of different communities in media. For me, diversity in media is about the diversity in content. Today, what we are seeing in this age of, I would say, multiple organizations being run by monopolies, across the platform monopolies, what we are seeing is the same content being dished out. I wish to see what is happening in Bundelkhand. I wish to see what is happening in Vidarbha. I wish to see what is happening in Northeast. We are in an era where for us, the waterlogging in Gurgaon is more important than the floods in Assam. We need to ponder over these things. That is where we are talking about identities and cultures. Culture is not just about cultural program that we are going to witness after this program. So I'm sure that the deliberations at this very important conference will be talking about these core issues which is very important for our future as a society, as a nation, as human beings. Because perhaps no other society in the world talked about diversity and oneness as much as our ancestors did. Even in the age of internet, the West can only talk about the global village. Whereas we, our forefathers, our ancestors spoke about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the entire universe, not just earth, not just, the skies. The Vasudha itself, that means everything planetary, trees, the birds, the animals, they are all one family. And today the globe is realizing it because of global, the global warming, the climate change that's happening, the interdependence that's there. Today we are realizing it, which our forefathers envisioned thousands of years back. So I think that it's very important that as a society, as media, as future media people, we all need to ponder over these things. I'm sure the deliberations over the next few months across cities in India and outside would come out with such suggestions which would certainly help in building a better media, a better India, and a better world. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir has rightly pondered upon the meaning and explanation of the theme for ICAN6. Such an insightful session by KG Suresh, sir. Your address definitely motivate young faculty members, young students, as well as researchers and academicians who are present here to look upon all these issues with curiosity and eagerness to learn about. Thank you so much, sir. Today we have our distinguished guest, Professor Ashok Ogra, sir. Sir will deliver the keynote address for today's session. Sir has over 45 years of experience of working in senior positions across media platforms, print, radio, television, and education. At present, he works as advisor with reputed APJ Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. He worked as director of the institute from 2003 till 2018 and built one of the most preferred media institute for pursuing postgraduate studies. He writes regularly on various media and management issues in leading newspapers. He is on the Executive Council of Central University of Jammu and on the Board of Studies of Central University of South Bihar, ISS University Rajasthan, and was on the Board of Studies of Jamia Millia Islamia, University of Rajasthan, Management School of Jammu University, and other state, government, and private institutes. Sir, we are eager to hear from you.
Good afternoon. तालियां हो जाएं. Justice Singh, Mr. Aman, my esteemed young colleague, Professor Suresh, Professor Amrish Saxena, Mr. Amin, and other distinguished speakers. I won't name all of them because I've already met them, and I want to take off from Justice very valid observation about culture, because culture is a framework in which we articulate our various elements of diversity. And Professor Suresh also emphasized on on that it is not desirable to impose one homogeneous idea of culture. Justice referred to Indians in Malta. In fact, I'm quite surprised that Indian government has banned Pakistan television networks in India, and therefore a reciprocal measure by Pakistan government, they have banned officially the Indian networks in Pakistan. The fact remains that the power and the influence of Indian media on Pakistan is so pervasive, is so powerful, that there is no need for the retaliatory action of, and if there is one media, I must admit to you, because I subscribe to the Dawn and the Nation Pakistan, if there are two newspapers which are the beacon of what the Chief Justice called the North Star, in the famous, I was present there at the Indian Express Adda, it is those Pakistan newspapers. India's soft power term coined by Harvard professor Levy, is so powerful that the only picture that survived the destruction of Syria, both in the territories occupied by Assad forces and the forces occupied by the ISI, was the picture of Shah Rukh Khan. So from the shores of Japan to the sands of Egypt, if there is one civilization, in fact, we are even much stronger than even China. And in Indonesia, the national carrier is Garuda, which is nothing but Lord Vishnu. In Thailand, all the kings have to have Ram in their name. So therefore, this whole culture, now, if we are able to export this beauty of the diversity of India, or this bouquet of colors within a bouquet, this rainbow, I find it somewhat odd that there are attempts and there are scholars who tend to see India from the lens of Delhi. I recently wrote a very longish article for an English newspaper on why Hindutva agenda is not working in the south, particularly Tamil Nadu. And I gave the example that if you ask a Tamilian, he will first say that I am a Tamilian, then he will say he is a Hindu. I am a Kashmiri. If you ask me what am I would never say I am a Kashmiri Brahmin. It automatically comes to me that I am a Kashmiri Pandit. I wrote a piece on the mangoes published last week. There are almost 700 different species of mangoes. So therefore, this whole idea that you can unify this country because you would have one language, one interpretation of religion is perhaps misplaced. If that was the case, then the Arab world, one language, one religion, you wouldn't have 28 Arab states. You wouldn't have Pakistan as one religion having so internal strife between sects. We exist because of what Professor Suresh beautifully said, the acceptance of the other. That other has to belong to you. It's very interesting that I may like to, of course, Justice Singh would know it, that in the preamble in the Constitution of the Part 2, we have the justice, we have the liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is very strange that till most of the judgments and most of the debate, most of the discourse in this country has focused on equality and liberty, but very little has been spoken about fraternity. And if there is time that we need to talk about fraternity, which means living in a brotherhood, mobilizing people for common goals, aspirations, unity in the country, it is now. And that perhaps reflects why we are having this debate, this seminar on such important topic. Why is it become so relevant, this topic? I am reminded of Salman Rushdie's recent essay in the New York Times. He said that truth has become a contested idea in the 21st century. Today we even doubt the truth. नहीं उसने बोला तो वो सच थोड़ी होगा. Now when you are entering in an era of where the truth is contested, it gives space to WhatsApp University that Professor Suresh referred to. I am reminded of Macbeth, Shakespeare's famous song, "Foul is fair, fair is foul." So we are at a stage where we need to, and if the truth is contested, there is no way and no space, no room for negotiating the process of dialogue in a democratic setup to arrive at a consensus. Impossible. So that is very important. This is particularly true in an era where we have what I call the birth of conversational media. Professor Suresh mentioned about technology. This is not the first time that technology has come to India. Between 1860 and 1920, we had 6 major technologies, transformative technologies, not incremental, transformative. Electricity, telephone, radio, motor car, aeroplane. Between 1860 to 1920. But now what we are seeing is the technology speed and its penetration. Therefore, if internet by Vincent Cerf was invented in 1980 and www by Tim Berners in 1989 in the famous laboratory CERN in Germany, but it was the Google which democratized access to information. In 1998, Sergey, who founded Google. But it was the Facebook in 2005 which opened us to the idea that information was one-sided, one to many, but we need to participate in the process of information, and that is what WhatsApp University is. So we allowed you to share. So it became a two-way communication. But it was fixed, and it was Steve Jobs' iPhone in 2007 that made communication personal, portable, and participatory. Therefore, you could participate in the process of creating this conversation. So if we are living in an age of conversation, it is very important to address some of these issues that we have. And as students of journalism, the first principle is to verify, verify, verify. Read between the lines. I am reminded of my teacher, Willie Karamoy in Singapore. He once asked me, what is the difference between a witness and a reporter? What is the difference between a witness and a reporter? So he said, assuming there is a fire in a building, and there's somebody who is witness to it, and he sees from that multi-story building somebody being carried in a stretcher, he will immediately say that I myself saw somebody being taken in a stretcher, and therefore you would conclude that it must be because of the fire. He says a reporter, by the very nature of his training, by the very nature of his craft, he will go and verify whether this person who was taken in a stretcher was because of fire, or was he already a heart patient, or something else. So therefore, reporters don't transmit only information. They transmit their craft, their technique, and their experience. That's the fundamental difference. Let me give you an example of Kalahandi. Kalahandi on an average receives 1,000 millimeters of rain, which is fairly decent. And yet, every 3-4 years, you would hear Kalahandi being declared as a drought-prone district. So I was wondering, why does it happen? Till some journalist told me that there are 3 types of droughts in this country. There is the agricultural drought, which happens because of the disease. That's fine. So you do need relief. Then there's a meteorological drought. The rain fails. Therefore, you need the relief. And third is the hydrological drought, that you have received the rainfall, the village wells are full, but the dominant caste don't allow the marginalized communities, and you know what I mean by them, access to that water. Because it is in the vested interest of those dominant castes to get the village declared as drought-prone area, because then the relief comes, and the relief again benefits these downcast people. So this is the training that you as a journalist must be able to distinguish between fact and fiction. Professor Suresh mentioned that all channels have what I call the tyranny of sameness. The assumption when the choice came in as satellite television in 1990s with Z, Star, NDTV, then other channels, we thought there would be now a choice given to us, that there would be diversity of opinion, there would be diversity of views, and therefore it will empower the citizens, and therefore they can take an informed choice. But it is exactly the reverse that has happened. What you are seeing is the tyranny of sameness. If there is tyranny of social media, there is also tyranny of sameness. I sometimes wonder that after Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, if there is one person who gets the maximum TV coverage, it is Asauddin Owaisi. Now, who is Asauddin Owaisi? Asauddin Owaisi represents a state in India out of 28, 32 states, Andhra Pradesh, now Telangana. A city in Telangana, Hyderabad, a constituency in Hyderabad, old Hyderabad, and yet he represents the Indian Muslims. And you will never see the diversity of voices, same guests, same Maulvis, same Pandits on all channels. What distinguishes all these channels is not the content, but the logo and the anchor. The rest is the same. And number two, what is the news? 8 o'clock, one topic, 9 o'clock, same topic or different topic, but what else is happening in the country, that is not mentioned at all. And in a situation of this kind, how do you expect the voices of the marginalized, the Dalits and the tribals to be heard? We had some good discussions on Manipur, I must admit, but we did not find a single tribal woman in that debate. And it is the women who are suffering. Their husbands have been killed, their children have been killed, their sons have been killed, but we didn't get to see any of those. So therefore, it is historically the Indian press has been free. I would partly disagree with Professor Suresh. Indian press has historically been free, Indian media, but imprisoned by profit. That time also profit motive was there. Right now, it is entirely imprisoned by profit and the agenda. And that is what we are discussing today. So we are at a delicate stage. Media business, media has become a business. Journalism is a calling, a fourth estate. Any student who could tell me who said journalism is the fourth estate? Any student? Okay, when did India win independence? 1947. Which date? 15th August. Why 15th August? Why not 16th August? Why not 1st September? 15 August बीच में कहाँ से आया? The critical thing for progress, for success in any field is curiosity. If you don't have curiosity, you won't make much progress. And empathy. Picasso says that painting is a blind man's profession. Painting is a blind man's profession. Painters don't paint what they see, they paint what they feel. Therefore, you must have curiosity, you must have the ability to empathize with the subject. So with these words, I wish you all the best. Thank you, Professor Saxena. It was wonderful having you here, having me here, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Such an informative keynote address by Professor Ashok Ograji. Sir has highlighted the idea of unification in all cultures, brotherhood, unity, fraternity as a whole were such key points in his address. Sir's lecture has so much diversity linking from one example to another example. We are really grateful to have you, sir, as a keynote speaker of ICAN6 inaugural session. Thank you so much.